Hi, my name's Kelly. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you've been before. If you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. I'm going to talk about my counselling training experience in this video. It's not uncommon what happened to me. Counselling training can change your life because it's really common for relationships to fall apart during counselling training. Counselling training, it really changes your life, and it might not be the way you expect. And started my counselling course. First counselling course I did was in 2001. It was a level 2, and it was really basic. And it was at a time where I was doing an access course. I was an adult going back into education. At the time, I had small children, and it was fine. I really enjoyed it, and then failed me maths. So the access course that I was doing, I did it because I didn't really know what I wanted to study. I couldn't make a decision. And as part of the access course, you got to choose lots of different subjects. I thought, perfect, I'll do that. And then as I started the access course, at first I just didn't think I was good enough to go to university. I didn't think I was clever enough. I wasn't academic enough. But then I realised that all of my colleagues who weren't, my peers who were on the course with me, they weren't getting as good marks as me. I was getting really good high marks. I was getting distinctions for assignments and stuff. And I realised that I could probably do it. So I decided that I was going to go to university. And so I went to university. I was trying to go to university, and I got a conditional offer, which was a C in math, and I can't remember what the other conditions were, but it easily passed the other conditions. And I was doing a reset of my maths because I knew I would need that. So I was doing my course. I got an E at school because I just wasn't interested and didn't really try very hard. So I went to this adult maths class, and it was quite a frightening thing to do, actually, because the first class I went to, the teacher was pointing at people with sums and expecting them to answer, and that just, I think I was nearly in tears. Thankfully, he noticed and didn't ask me. Anyway, so I didn't get my C, so I got a D, and I didn't get in. So I took a year out and did my level 3 in counselling to keep me busy for the year until I could get into university. And oh my God, the level 3 changed my life. It was completely life-changing, because what I've realised through the counselling, in counselling training, you have to practice the core conditions and doing a counselling session with your peers. So I had to practice being the client as well as the counsellor. And in that scenario, I got to be in a position where I was listened to. And at the time I was married, and my husband at the time didn't listen. He just didn't listen to me. He didn't care about how I felt about anything. I don't know if he was pretending or not to just not understand what I was saying to him, but he didn't want to do anything to make me happy. So, well, that's how I felt anyway. So I realised what it was like to be listened to. And about that time, I also started a job, which was only part-time, but it was a new job. And I met my current husband, who was listening to me. He was interested in my life. He was interested in helping me to solve some of the issues that I had. And so I learned what it was like to be listened to for the first time in my life. And so it ended up that, I ended up getting a divorce because I realised the marriage I was in wasn't meeting my needs. My needs just weren't being met. I was so empty and just unfulfilled. I was trying to do everything. I was going to college, I was working, I was looking after the children, I was tidying up and cleaning and all these things of managing the finances, going doing the shopping. I was trying to do the majority of everything. I didn't do everything, but all the thinking, all the decisions fell to me, and it just got too much. So counselling, that's how counselling changed my life. And it changed my life so much that I got into university. It was Newcastle University, so one of the top universities, but it just didn't last because I had My home life was just really chaotic by that point. I had to get a job to support my family when I was going through the divorce, so I had to get a better job to make sure that I could afford to pay the mortgage. Otherwise, I would have lost my house and the roof over my children's head. So I had to do that and not follow my dreams, which was to graduate from university. So took a few years out, got a job, worked my way up a bit, and then I did my foundation degree a few years later, knowing that my life could be turned upside down again, thinking, oh, well, I'm in a really solid relationship. I wasn't married when I started it. I got married just after I finished my foundation degree in counselling in 2011. So I wasn't married, and I was like really worried for that relationship, but it didn't. I went through my foundation degree. It was 2 years part-time. I was working full-time. It was really challenging to fit everything in, and thankfully it didn't destroy my life. Well, it didn't destroy my marriage, but it did make me look at other relationships in my life. So it still turned my life upside down. And it actually, what it really did was everything fell apart so that I could put what was right for me back. What the things I not replaced, the things that I put in my life after everything fell apart are right for me. And that was like 2011, and I've been putting things in my life that I want since then. I'm a lot happier now because I know what I want, and I prioritise my needs, not other people's, although I still prioritise other people's needs a bit too much. Being a counsellor, you just can't help it. So that was a bit about how I became a counsellor, and I had my own therapy as well. I've had therapy quite a few times in my life, and I think the counselling training was the best personal development that I could have had. I've always been interested in what I can do to improve myself so that I can handle relationships better. And I think I'm pretty good at it now. I've been practicing a long time to keep myself well as other people. Some people might disagree with that, but I don't care. Let them go. So I've done another video on letting people go who don't appreciate you, don't value you. So my name's Kelly, and welcome to my podcast. And please consider subscribing and liking my video. Thank you.